IEBC has been seen as a vote-stealing machine in this country, especially by the opposition.
Hello and welcome to the Political Oracle, a segment of the Talk Chat podcast. My name is Jasmine Mumba and today I'm joined with Dr. Michael Ndonyi. Karibu sana daktari.
Asante.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing fine. Okay, so looking at history of elections, a very tragic one was the 2007, where a presidential candidate contested the results of the voting, the voter turnout. Why do you think that in Kenya has every presidential election since 2007 led to a candidate contesting the results?
Yeah, thank you. And maybe the issue of IEBC has been a very emotional issue. Not only in 2007, but it started way back after multi-party democracy. The first elections which were held in 1992, the candidates who lost those elections to the former President Moi, they never agreed that the elections were free and fair. They felt that President Moi had an advantage of being a president in that particular election. Okay. Actually, it was in 1992 when it was said there was a big confusion. And what led to because President Moi's agents were able to trick Kenyans. And this is how they tricked Kenyans, how the word goes, because I was young that time. I remember I was around 8 years. And they were saying, the agents told people who were going, by then they used to do mulolongo. You know mulolongo, they used to queue. They used to queue, so you queue out wa nyayo hapa, na watu wa wengine hapa, so unakuta they would sway, you would be swayed to go to the longest queue. Okay. And then after that, now there was voting in 1997, and they would say, these guys, what they did, they said, you just go and put the X to the person you don't want. Okay. I want you to imagine this. You have been told, out of this list, what you are going to do, just go and put the X to the person you don't want, and don't interfere with others. What do you think that means?
You have voted.
You have voted. Because many people now illiterate would now go and put the X to the person they didn't want more, so they would put the X and leave. And then they will say nimetoa. At the end of it, another thing that was now blamed on that was voter education. That people were not educated to know that when you put X or a tick to any mark, you are voted for that candidate. So by 2002, the first public education about voting was done. And the people knew whether you put X, whether you put a dot, whether you put a tick against the box of that particular candidate, you are voted for them. So IEBC had such issues, and come to 2007, the late Kevoito said, I don't even know who won. And it brought a lot of confusions. And in every other election, including in 2002, the only president who has ever accepted defeat in this country, presidential candidate, was Uhuru Kenyatta.
I accept the choice of the people, and in particular, now concede that Mr. Mwai Kibaki will be the third president of the Republic of Kenya.
He accepted defeat in 2002. No other president has ever. Of course, after that, the subsequent runner-up has been Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga has never accepted defeat, even when it is very clear. His votes are always stolen. And that one, he has been able to convince his stronghold that there is no way you can win Kenyan elections free and fair. The vote must be stolen. And that has cast a lot of suspicion, especially to the electoral body, including the referendum that we have ever had, like the 2005 and 2010 referenda. There were still issues that the vote has been stolen. So IEBC has been seen as a vote stealing machine in this country, especially by the opposition. Because also that is an easier way of coming out of crisis. You are defeated. You had promised your people you are going to win. You have been defeated and you don't want to accept. You just blame IEBC. So it is very hard to get that out of even the minds of Kenyans. And that is the reason it becomes very hard for IEBC to get itself out of that mark. It has been put by politicians. They don't trust their institutions as long as they are not winning. But if they win, the institution is good. And that is why we usually ask them, ODM will come and say, the IEBC, the elections were not free and fair. But the people who are saying that, they have won governors, they have won the senatorial seats, the women rep seats, but they say it was not fair. Does it mean, it's a self-contradiction, does it mean even them, the election was not free and fair? Then they will now start telling you, no, it was only the presidents, which beats logic. So if the elections were not good, then they were not good all over. And if you remember in 2017, when Maraga and the Supreme Court cancelled the elections, the questions were there. If the elections were shambolic, you cancel all the elections from MCA to president. Why are we only cancelling the presidents? So there are a lot of contradictions when it comes to contesting an election outcome. Within the opposition, they contradict themselves. And of course, that means also IEBC itself has never been treated as an institution that can be trusted. It is not that IEBC cannot be trusted. It is actually the politicians who do not want to trust IEBC, provided they have not won. If they win, IEBC is good. If they lose, IEBC is bad. So it's a way of dealing with their crisis, to blame IEBC.
Okay. Now, we have seen that it is an image that has been created among the people.
Yep.
So what do you think this spells out for future contests, like the one coming up in 2027?
Of course, in 2027, we have already started. There are people who have already started saying that the body which is constituted is not neutral. Some people belong to the families, which are friends to the government officials, that kind of a thing. As long as those rumors and narratives are moving around, you expect IEBC will just have to develop a thick scheme. Because whoever will lose in 2027, they will be blamed. They will be blamed for having manipulated votes at the ballots. So it is them now to stand by truth and expect that outcome must always be there. Because in any election, there will be a winner and a loser. And the losers of elections in this country have never had creative ways of dealing with their post-election stress. They deal with that by, first of all, going to Supreme Court to contest elections, even when it is so clear that they were defeated. They go to Supreme Court, we have drama with the lawyers, and then after that, they even blame the Supreme Court for being a part of the government. And that is the nature of politics. So we expect that happens every other time.
Okay.
And in 2027, it is going to repeat itself. Yeah.
Okay. And how do you think this subsequent electoral doubt maybe might affect voter turnouts?
Of course, because of lack of faith, lack of confidence with the electoral body. It brings about what we call voter apathy amongst the people. And still there are a number of people who would say, I am not going to vote because nothing is going to change. So as long as we have such people, it means we have a percentage of many Kenyans who refuse to go to vote because of that. So it has some implications at the end of it. And the implication is voter apathy, avoidance of all those things. And it affects also our democracy. We usually say, if, for example, in 2022, the difference between Raila Odinga and William Ruto was around 200,000 votes, the same actually in 2017, it was just that small number. And if we are talking about over 1 million people who have not voted, isn't it? But the difference between the winner and the runners-up is just 200,000 votes. What does that mean? If these people voted, maybe the results would be different. And that means they deny the country that democratic chance to have really the correct person would have been elected, simply because of apathy. Yeah.
And would you say maybe their concerns are valid?
Their concerns are valid based on the narrative and the picture that has been painted by politicians, especially their inability to respect independent bodies in this country, independent institutions. They want to meddle with them. And if they are not meddling with them, they want to believe that someone must have meddled with them. You know, a thief is a thief, and a thief thinks that everyone is a thief. So as long as they are not the one stealing, the other person is stealing. And that's the problem. So it is just politicians themselves who have created this kind of culture in this country.
Okay.
And it is not going soon.
Okay. And given the growing concerns, what, or rather in what ways do you think it impacts democracy, given that people already have doubts before even the ballots are cast?
Of course, as I have said, it denies this country the person that maybe could have saved us. Of course, we need also to understand that in most cases, we do not have options. We choose which one is to eat us, whether we are going to be eaten by a hyena or a fox. So that the people we are having the ballot, one is a hyena, the other one is a fox, is for us to choose in which mouth are we going to follow into. So in most cases, we have never had, and actually most of the good people who are really true and good people with good policies and good agenda, they are usually fringe candidates. Yeah. These other people are the same people. They switch alliances in every election. Like now, in 2022, Gachagua was with Ruto, right? Raila Odinga was with, they were fighting. Now they are together. Gachagua is outside. You know, it's the same people. So if we will have Ruto versus Gachagua in 2027, what change can we say maybe is going to come out of such an election? They are the same people who were in UDA, in Kenya Kwanza. They formed the government. They were sewn together. If we are going to have Raila and Ruto, it's the same thing. They are now working together. If they separate, they come together after elections. So sometimes we just need to choose which lion is going to eat us.
Okay.
So there is no alternative.
Okay. Now, Dr. you've said in most incidences, the better options are the fringe candidates.
Yeah.
So now Wajakoya would have been a good choice.
No. Wajakoya was Azimio la Umoja's project. And that one I said, I did an interview in BBC, and I remember, I said that. Wajakoya was Azimio la Umoja's and the then incumbent government's project. And I asked one question. Even you yourself, you know, sometimes we look at the way things work. Even you yourself, just go out there and start saying, I will give people bangi, which is an illegal drug in this country. You will be arrested by G4S. What were people reading from the fact that the government could just leave Wajakoya to move around freely, promising Kenyans drugs?
And it's next.
Leave alone even giving them when he wins. He was trying to normalize I remember I also did a column in the Conversations, and I called it Queer Politics. Queer politics means you are talking about queer things. The snake's poison. You are promising them to rear hyenas. You are promising it was queer. You understand?
Yes.
And so there is no way a person who is not working with the government can just go talking about a crime and then they are free. There is no way. So it means they were working together. It was so straightforward that they were working together. So we cannot say Wajakoya would have made a good president. We cannot say even the Bishop Mwaura would have made a good president. Of course, Wajakoya is more experienced in politics than Wajakoya has been there. He was in 2013 as, is it 2013 or 2017, as Abduba Dida's running mate. So he has been aspiring to be there. So sometimes we have fringe candidates. Like one particular time we had someone called Peter Kenneth. Let me tell you some good presidents that this country never had. One of them are people like Peter Kenneth. What I can say, we have had some good presidential candidates presenting themselves, but they come out as fringe candidates, simply because they don't belong to the bigger coalitions, to the bigger alliances. So there are many people who have presented themselves in this country to be presidents, but they don't find themselves in the bigger picture. And that is why I'm saying sometimes we have no option in whatever we are presented to. Even when we have very good presidential candidates, 6 of them, you realize we are swayed by numbers. Because remember, the psychology of human being is this. Human beings like numbers. They like abundance. So if this coalition is sweeping and swaying because of their display of wealth, and their display of power before people will think these are the best people. And then we have no option but to end up with them. And just like in Mulolongo, people would look at which, if there are only 2 people here and there are 100 people in this line, you join the majority because majority rules over minority. And that is the rule of power. So sometimes it's only that we have no option, and we need to understand even those fringe candidates are sometimes very good people with good vision. But what they lack is money, what they lack is influence and power that comes with it. And of course, ability to form coalitions with the like-minded people. Yeah.
Okay, now, Daktari, as you conclude, circling back to IEBC credibility, is there a scenario in 2027 where the loser concedes to defeat?
No. Losers will never concede defeat in this country. Why? Because that has been our pattern. I usually say patterns do not lie. Yeah. Patterns do not lie. If all the losers in this country, including MCAs, they usually claim that their votes were stolen. Someone has 5 votes out of 20,000 votes, and they say, my vote were stolen. Sometimes you realize someone, even the wife, did not vote for them. But they want to tell us they earned all the votes, and the votes were stolen. It's a coping mechanism. As long as that has been adopted by politicians as a coping mechanism, I am not foreseeing a situation whereby a loser will accept defeat. And let me tell you the reason why Uhuru Kenyatta conceded defeat in 2002. He was actually forced by Moi to do that. Yeah. It is in the public domain that Moi himself told him, umeshindwa kumbali, just kuwa opposition. And he conceded defeat. Okay. Yeah. And actually the concession speech is not even him who wrote it. Yeah, he was told, read bana, hii kitu imeenda, kuna kitu unaweza fanya. And that is one of the most honorable thing that people should remember Uhuru Kenyatta and the KANU. They can remember KANU with all other things. But at least KANU in 2002 actually conceded presidential defeat. No other party has ever done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, since you've said there's no scenario that a losing candidate would concede defeat, what do you think would need to change for this to happen?
The perception and the narrative. People need to change the way they see politics. People should know we cannot have two presidents at the same time. We must have a winner and a loser. People should respect themselves first and respect this nation. People should be patriotic enough to give us space. And also to know if they continue refusing to concede defeat as a way of running away and coping, they are so selfish that they don't want to have this country benefit in future by being truthful. Because being truthful is two-way. You have to accept something is true so that also you yourself, you can be accepted to be truthful. So it is just like honesty is two-way. If you want people to be honest, start by yourself being honest. Politicians who lose elections in this country are not honest. They are not truthful. They don't love this country. They are selfish in most times. And that has now brought up this perception that we cannot trust our institutions. Institutions, they don't give trust to people. It is people who decide. Trust is a deliberate decision. We can deliberately build trust in our institutions by being truthful. If you are defeated, accept you are defeated and you can fight another day. If you win, accept you win fairly. But if we have politicians who believe that elections are free and fair, if and only if they win, and if they lose is not free and fair, then that's selfishness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Daktari, for your time and for your take. It has been nice having you on our podcast. To our viewers who have come to the end of this interview, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. I've been your host, Jasmine Mumba. Bye.